Hi guys, Mr. G here, and welcome to grade 10 factorization. This is quite a sensitive topic for me because once you miss uh, factorizing, you're probably going to find a hard time dealing with algebraic equations, from linear to quadratic, and even functions, in particular the quadratic function, and equations that involve fractions. So I'd like you to really take this topic very serious and cooperate by actually doing those problems, those sums that I allow you guys to try out, okay? And I'll try as well to be quite slow on this. As I said, it's quite a sensitive topic, so I wouldn't want any of you to miss out on this. And I have really made it quite simple so that it accommodates any kind of learner in the mathematics classroom. There are essentially 6 methods that you need to be aware of when it comes to factorization in grade 10. The first one being the highest common factor method is a method that you have actually been using since grade 9. The difference of perfect squares, dots, or two squares, dots. Also, that is something that you did in grade 9. Quadratic trinomials, you have done a little bit of this, but with some exceptions. In grade 10, we are going to learn how to factorize quadratic trinomials irrespective of the form of the trinomial. Number 4, the sum of perfect or two cubes, as well as the difference of perfect or two cubes. And finally, we will conclude this topic by looking at factorization by grouping. This is where you are given 4 or 5 terms. What I will do within some of the examples, I will include some level 3 questions. This is known as complex procedure questions, and it basically requires you to use a combination of 2 or more methods in order for you to arrive at a simplified or rather factorized form of an expression. Without any further ado, guys, let's get to this. The highest common factor method, the very simple and the basic one, and we're looking here at a standard question, level 1 question. What you do usually here, you look for the highest common factor between the two terms in this case, or among terms that would have been given. Here we can see 2 is one highest common factor that appears in both terms. So I take 2 and then I divide 2x by 2, I get x, then minus, I keep the sign, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and that's it. And that's why usually this thing, questions like this will be simply 1 mark in terms of mark allocation. Here, it's quite different. And what I want you to notice is that whereas in this example, the highest common factor was a number, a known value, in this example, the highest common factor is not necessarily a known value, is a variable. So what I do here, I'll take out y, and then y squared divided by y is y divided by y is 1. And I could have gone ahead actually and complicated this a little bit and maybe said 2y squared minus y. Even if this is the case, you still keep y as your highest common factor really, because between 1 and 2, remember the invisible math, there's a 1 here, but between 1 and 2, really, the highest common factor is 1, so it's good as not writing it and considering it. So again, you will have 2y here minus a 1. So these are very important, subtle, but sensitive things to look at. I wouldn't want to keep these videos very long, so I'll try and keep them between 5 minutes. If I really lose it, it will be up to 9 minutes maximum. So for now, I'll keep it here, guys. Stay in touch for next videos. Cheers.